the clock tower! Save the clock tower! Mayor Wilson is sponsoring an initiative to replace that clock. 30 years ago, lightning struck that clock tower, and the clock hasn't run since.
30 years ago, not only did that clock stop,
It should be preserved exactly the way it is.
but life stopped for the McFly family. Every family is unique, and each family has its own history, its own stories, that are passed down from generation to generation.
Perfect. Just perfect.
That define who they are collectively. Marty McFly comes from a family of failures.
I can't believe you loaned me your car without telling me it had a blind spot.
His father, George, is a coward who continues to be bullied by the same person since high school. His mom, Lorraine, is depressed and an alcoholic.
We all make mistakes in life, children.
And Marty's siblings don't appear to have much of a future either. The McFlys seem to be clinging to the story of how the parents met.
Like the way I met your father.
That was so stupid. Grandpa hit him with the car.
It was meant to be.
Perhaps their mom's last happy memory. But retelling that story is actually harmful to the family, and to George especially, who wasn't exactly birdwatching right before Grandpa hit him with the car.
What was it, George? Bird watching?
What, Lorraine? What?
So instead of feeling empowered that he won the girl of his dreams, instead George McFly has spent his adult life feeling guilty and unworthy of his wife and life.
You decided to go with him to the fish under the sea dance.
No, it was the enchantment under the sea dance. And it was then that I realized that I was going to spend the rest of my life with him.
Marty recognizes that he has many of the same fears and beliefs that his dad does.
I mean, what if they say I'm no good? What if they say, get out of here, kid, you got no future? I mean, I just don't think I can take that kind of rejection.
But Marty
Jesus, I'm starting to sound like my old man.
is determined to change.
Hey, why even bother, McFly? You don't have a chance. You're too much like your old man. No McFly ever amounted to anything in the history of Hill Valley.
To break that link of fear and failure.
Yeah, well, history is going to change.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Emmett Brown.
Perhaps inspired by Doc's example. Doc Brown is the opposite of the McFlys. He has experienced setbacks, but is undaunted in his pursuits. He is a pioneer, going where roads do not yet exist.
I, Dr. Emmett Brown, am about to embark on an historic journey.
His only apparent ancestry seems to be inventors and great minds of the past.
Tom, how am I going to generate that kind of power? It can't be done, can it?
Who push through failure after failure until finally succeeding.
I finally invent something that works!
And so Marty is sent back in time. Where he appears to be a man from another world. And in a sense, he is. One of the first things Marty comes across in 1955 is a billboard advertising his future neighborhood. The road home does not yet exist. His future is symbolically cut off. Two lions guard the way, like biblical cherubim, preventing him from returning home prematurely. Only after he has proved himself worthy by performing the small task of fixing his family will he be allowed to return home. Lion Estates is not the only place that we see large stone cats. The clock tower is also flanked by two large mountain lions that seem to be protecting or perhaps preventing the future from coming. The cats could be seen as representing George.
What if they didn't like them? What if they told me I was no good?
And later Marty's fears.
I guess that would be pretty hard for somebody to understand. No. No, not hard at all.
Marty finds his father, and not only does he save him, but he becomes a surrogate for him. All of the things that Marty has heard his parents talk about are now happening to him.
My name is Lorraine. Lorraine Baines?
In a way, Marty absorbs that story
What are you writing?
so that George can write a new story.
From other planets? Get out out of town. I didn't know you did anything creative.
Marty and George are tied together in more ways than one. Their destinies, their futures,
Just go over there and ask her.
depend on George facing his fears.
What, right here, right now in the cafeteria? What if she said no? I don't know if I could take that kind of a rejection.
And overcoming them. In order to break free of our past and change the trajectory of our future, it helps to have a strong inciting moment, a life-altering realization.
A bolt of lightning.
What did you say?
A bolt of lightning.
Doc Brown,
I remember it vividly.
Marty's mentor,
I was standing on the edge of my toilet hanging a clock.
has had such an experience.
My head on the edge of the sink, and when I came to, I had a revelation. A vision. A picture in my head.
But the McFly family has not had such an experience. In order to transform his family, he needs some sort of aha moment, a realization or inspiration to occur for his parents, a bolt of lightning. They need a new paradigm, a new story
Girls like that stuff.
to live their lives by.
What are you doing, George?
I'm writing this down. This is good stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Let's go.
Oh.
Marty coaches and encourages George to stand up for himself. But ultimately, it is up to George and Lorraine
Hey, you. Get your damn hands off.
to write their own story.
George, help me, please.
Just turn around, McFly, and walk away.
To find their own lightning.
No, Biff. You leave her alone.
Not only does George become the king of the dance,
Where'd you let out Biff? Nice going.
George, you ever think of running for class
but now they have an empowering story that changes their lives forever. Each of us is a time machine. Our past is imprinted in our DNA. It is written in our souls.
Hey, McFly!
Ours and our family's past hurts
Get used to these bars, kid.
and mistakes can linger in our hearts and minds for generations. People can change, and they do. We are not limited to the paths that our parents have taken, or even the roads that are placed before us.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
There's no limit to what we can accomplish. It isn't until we reach back to these moments and, with inspiration,
Like I've always told you, you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
rewrite them,
Is everything all right?
reframe them,
Oh, yeah.
letting go of the pain of the past,
Everything is great.
that we are free to become whatever we want. We don't always need an earth-shattering bolt of lightning to inspire change.
I need fuel.
We can find power, inspiration in unexpected places. There is power available that we didn't even realize was there. And that is the moral of this story.